Death to America, death to America. This is what they're telling us the Iranian people have been saying for years about the U.S. And then a lot of Americans are always saying, well, they justify attacking Iran because Iran's been saying this for years. And that's the reason Israel and the United States are over there, because Iran wants to destroy America and Iran wants to destroy Israel, right? But a lot of Americans, what they fail to realize is where's all of this talk coming from? Why are Iranians always saying, chanting, so to speak, right? Death to America. Where does it stem from? Are they just waking up upset about Americans and their liberties? Are they mad that Americans are so-called free, which is bullshit? Are they mad that Americans have McDonald's and big banks to rob them of their money? I'm trying to figure out what it is that Iran is jealous of the United States for. Iran, from what I'm hearing, there's hardly any homeless people out there. We got a ton of homeless people out here, right? This is supposed to be the greatest country and all this other stuff, right? Got all these homeless people running around. We got people sick all over the place. There's some good things about America. Everything ain't all bad. But there's a lot of bullshit that go along with it too. So we can't sit up here trying to have the moral high ground over other countries when we sitting up here with the largest prison population. We sitting up here allowing the cops to get away with all kind of shit, stealing from Americans and all kind of civil forfeiture. It's a lot of real fucked up shit that go on in America. But to these fake patriots and these blind patriots out here, doesn't matter to them. What matters is America rules over and is supreme over everybody else at any cost. That's what most Americans believe in. Now, with that being said, Iran. Why is it that Iran doesn't like the United States? And I'm just going by what the government is saying, that Iran don't like us. So why is it that Iran doesn't like us? Don't tell the whole story. If Iran is in fact saying, well, death to America, why? Everything has a reason for it. You know what I mean? There's things don't just happen for no reason, right? Everything has a reason. There's a cause and effect for everything. Well, this goes back a very, very long time. This goes far back before my mom was even born, okay? It starts with a thing called Operation Ajax. I've been through this, but many Americans don't know about this because CNN, Fox News, other mainstream outlets, they're not going to talk about that. They're going to keep telling you why Iran is bad, why they hate America. They're actually not telling you why they hate America. They're just saying they're chanting it, and they're not telling you why they're chanting it. But I'm going to tell you why they're saying this. Operation Ajax, man. Let's get into it real quick. This ain't going to be too long, but I'm just going to spit some knowledge to you fools out there that you keep on, supporting this empire. And you need to really get some knowledge under your belt first. All right, Operation Ajax, man, that was it was a covert mission. This happened in 1953. It was orchestrated by the CIA and the British MI6 to overthrow the democratically elected Prime Minister of Iran. And his name was Mohammed Mossadegh. All right, so that was a very pivotal moment in Cold War history, man, because it marks the first time that the CIA helped topple a foreign government. So you see what I mean, right? All right. So that's the U.S. putting their nose in another country's business. So what started the Operation Ajax, man? So in 1951, Prime Minister Mossadegh, he nationalized the Iranian oil, and that was controlled by the British Anglo-Iranian Oil Company, man, and which we know today as BP. All right, so that's what that BP means. You see BP, pretty much British Petroleum, man. That's what that shit really stands for nowadays. So this was a pretty much economic motive. You know, Britain lost its most valuable asset, and it imposed a global boycott on Iranian oil to cripple their economy. You see what I mean? And then the U.S. feared that a weakened Iran would fall under the influence of Soviet rule. All right, so that's what they were afraid of, man. They didn't want the Russians pretty much they didn't want the Russians to rise up in power, so to speak, all right? So how did it all go down, man? So August of 1953, this was led by the CIA agent Kermit Roosevelt Jr. He was the grandson of Theodore Roosevelt, right? They planned this shit in like layers, right? So the propaganda, which is always first with anything, not just the U.S., all countries use propaganda. That's how they get their people on board with what they want to do. They use propaganda. News is the biggest propaganda tool. They use the news to brainwash the people and to go along with their plan. That's what they do. All right, so they use propaganda. They started paying journalists and mullahs to smear Mossadegh, calling him a communist and the enemy of Islam. You see? This is what I'm saying. Y'all keep saying that these people don't like us, but y'all not doing the research to find out why. And keep in mind, the Mossadegh, he was elected. I'm gonna keep on stressing that. He was elected. The people of Iran, they put him in there, right? That's a very important point that I'm making. I'm gonna keep talking about that so you fools can get it drilled in your fucking head why I'm saying it. He was elected. The people decided, not the CIA, not other outside interests and threats. The people of Iran put Mossadegh in there, right? He wasn't installed, all right? He wasn't an installed puppet. He was what the people asked for. Rather, it was wrong or right, it's what the people asked for, right? And if you want to use that same logic, assuming that the U.S. election system is what it is, the people put Trump in office, right? Rather, we like him or not, the people did it. Iran didn't put him in there, right? Did Russia do it? There's a possibility. There's some people believe that Putin got a lot to do with a lot of this, but I'm just going by what people saying as far as the elections is real, it's not rigged. We do have the power to elect. So I'm going by that narrative that people like to push. So that's why I'm saying this. Using that same logic, Mossadegh was elected by his people. They overwhelmingly wanted him to run the country. And this is a guy now that the U.S. is paying journalists to smear his name and calling him an enemy of Islam. You see what they do? And then after that, they paid mobs. Kind of like what you're seeing right now, right? All you people that believe the Iranian government was slaughtering all these protesters, they want you to believe that. They're using the same script that they've been using for fucking 60, 70 years. Paid mobs. That's what they do. Them dudes weren't no protesters. But you gonna keep eating it up. Y'all gonna keep eating it up and loving it because the U.S. told you to love it. So the CIA hired groups of staged violent riots and fake pro-communist protests, y'all, to create a sense of national chaos. Does that sound familiar? That's what's been going on right before this war. You have all of these people in the streets causing all this chaos in Iran and Tehran. And then you got Trump getting on TV like a propagandist. Yeah, man, you out there killing protesters, man. We can't allow that. Like he cares so much about Iranians, yet you had 2 U.S. citizens that got killed by ICE, and he ain't fucking bat an eye. You expect me to believe you care about Iranians 6,000 miles away, but you don't even care about your own people over here? Propaganda. Then the coup came. After they failed, after a failure that forced the Shah Mohammed Pahlavi to flee the country, a second attempt on August 19th succeeded. So Mossadegh was arrested and the Shah was put in as a monarch. So the Shah of Iran, was born. Fools not understanding this, are you? So what was the consequences, man? You know, the U.S. always gonna view stuff as a success. The long-term consequences was with Iranian politics. It transitioned from a developing democracy, like I just told y'all, right, to a pro-Western autocracy under the Shah. In other words, they got rid of the person that was for their country, that was going to do right by their country. They got rid of him because he wasn't serving the interest of Britain and the U.S. So who they put in? They caused all this chaos, get rid of him, and put in the Shah. Right? That's what I'm saying. The Shah was their puppet. The same thing they're trying to do right now. I don't know what you fools not understanding. They're using the almost the exact same playbook they used in Operation Ajax. Y'all don't get it yet. Y'all know this, but a lot of y'all just ignorant. So, lastly, man, pretty much the CIA precedent impact of this, right? Served as a success template for, future CIA interventions in places like Guatemala and Chile. And what else? Oil control, like I figured. What's the surprise? Oil control. Yeah, the new consortium was formed where the U.S. and British companies shared control of what? Iranian oil. You dumbasses. Oh, they don't like us, man. They chant death to America. Well, oh shit. Well, hell, man. Look, if a country got rid of Trump or Obama and put in whoever the fuck to take our resources, I wouldn't like their asses either. You get it? Now, is that resonating with you fucking morons? Good grief. But that's enough. I ain't got nothing else to say. But lastly, what I will say is, in 79, there was a hostage crisis. And people like to use that too. They had our hostages. Those were students. And why did they seize the U.S. Embassy? Well, it was motivated by the fear that the U.S. was planning another Operation Ajax to restore the Shah after they got his ass out of there the second time. Because they overthrew the Shah, and then all of a sudden, here comes this, they tried more shit, and these dudes said, no, we're not doing this again. And Shah, I believe he went to the U.S. for cancer treatment, and everybody was worried, like, yo, he's going over there, they plotting. They gonna try to put that motherfucker back in here. And the Shah was vicious. Look up what the Shah of Iran was doing. And then come back and you tell me why they chanting death to America. Y'all some fools, bro. Before y'all get out here and just automatically side with your country, you need to do your research and you need to understand why why people don't like America, man. A lot of these places would have had no problems with America if we just left them the fuck alone, man. But y'all white supremacists, y'all don't know how to do that. Y'all don't know how to leave things alone till it burn y'all. That's y'all problem. Y'all gotta always take from people and gotta feel so supreme over motherfuckers, but then it always bites you in the ass sooner or later, and it's happening right now. And I said this in another video. How come all these other countries are not saying death to Switzerland, death to Denmark? How come none of those people are getting threatened? You don't never hear that. Because a lot of these countries mind their fucking business. I'm off this, man. It's Rebel Life Truth. Like, subscribe. I'll definitely catch y'all in the next one.